Great. So thank you. Yeah, so before we dive into sort of the meat of this webinar, this presentation, which is about this specific program, Echoes of the Past, I just want to give a little bit, just a minute or two of an overview of the American Center for Mongolian Studies and what we do here. So we are a private nonprofit registered in both the US and in Mongolia. And our mission is to create and promote educational and cultural exchanges and support research related to Mongolia and the sort of broader Mongolian region, and folks throughout that region. So our programs include a number of, experiential kind of educational activities like this educational tour, as well as things like we have a Mongolian language program that's available both online over Zoom as well as in person in an intensive summer language program. We also offer research support for individual scholars coming from not only the US now, but also other countries around the world, including local researchers in Mongolia. And of course, we have library services in our Ulaanbaatar office and other programs, exhibitions. We have a big exhibition coming up in May that we're very excited about, focusing on Owen Lattimore, one of the sort of main and first 20th century Western Mongolists to sort of, who really brought us to where we are today, I would say, in a lot of ways, academically and culturally. So, we have a number of these different programs. And, if you're interested in learning more about any of those, we welcome you to check out our website, which we can put in the chat and that most of you have probably already seen because you're on this webinar as well. So, yeah, I'll turn it over to our in-country director, Dava Surin, or Dava, who is also on this meeting, to just provide a little bit more of an introduction, and then we'll dive into this webinar. So thanks all for joining today.
Thank you, and welcome to our webinar. And my name is Dava Myagmar, and I'm the in-country director of the American Center for Mongolian Studies. And today's session will provide a brief overview of the Archaeological Educational Tour Program. And we are pleased to have our program leaders and the staff members here to share the detailed information with you and respond to your questions. And we hope this session will be both informative and inspiring. And we look forward to welcoming you in Mongolia this summer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you all. So my name is Tupshin Zaya, Program Manager at the CMS from the Ulaanbaatar office. So we are so excited to kick off this new program, and this time we are partnering with one of the leading institutions, archaeological institutions in Mongolia. They're from the National University of Mongolia. So as you know, like we have two instructors for this program. So lead instructor, Professor Dr. Jonathan Bruntoft has joined with us tonight. So he and I will mostly talk through, like give you more as much as we could, like a more detailed information, including the itinerary and packing list and expectations at this site. So before that, let me introduce Dr. Jonathan Bruntoft. So he's an archaeologist from the National University of Mongolia who has over 2 decades of experience studying post-Nazi material remains. So he received his PhD in anthropology from Yale University in 2017 and also holds bachelor and master degrees in archaeology from the National University of Mongolia. And his specialties include archaeology of large-scale monuments, mobile pastoralism, and landscape ecology and household ecology of nomadic societies. So without further ado, let me invite Professor Dr.
Okay, hello to everyone, wherever you are around the world. Welcome to this webinar, and I'm happy to not only answer your questions, but also share what we think is a valuable and helpful information that will make your life easier when you arrive in Mongolia this summer to learn and share the experience with us in studying the the past of nomadic societies in Mongolia through their material remains. In other words, by doing archaeology. So I'm very excited to be part of this exciting program. Yeah.
Yes, I'm excited too. So how about we start with the itineraries, including this program starts from Ulaanbaatar, capital city of Mongolia. So we have a couple of days in Ulaanbaatar on orientation days. So maybe we can start with what are gonna do for those couple of days, and when we get on the road, where we're gonna start, and especially on the site, like let's give them some more detailed
Uh-huh.
information on that part,
Uh-huh.
and itinerary wise, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So this actual archaeological expedition, I call it an expedition because it's not just educational tour, but you get to be part of a real archaeological expedition and do exactly what we do or what archaeologists actually do and get the first-hand experience by doing all of that in Mongolia in reality and on the ground. So our expedition begins in Mongolia, where you will get to experience um, not only the capital city of Mongolia, and gets spend some time sightseeing, I'm assuming, museums and whatnot. But there will be 2 days where you will actually get to come and visit first the National University of Mongolia, and on the next day visit the Institute of Nomadic Archaeology, which is part of the National University of Mongolia. And this is the institution where not only the next generation of domestic national Mongolian archaeologists are educated, but also this is the place where all the preparation works of actual archaeological expeditions take place, but also all the works that happen after the expedition take place. So we will dive into a world of archaeological labs, archaeological uh, storage units, and see what happens there or what kinds of material remains actual archaeologists deal with studying past nomadic societies. After spending these 2 very exciting and valuable days in Ulaanbaatar, we will get on the road, and our first stop is going to be the Khosta National Park. Or you will get the opportunity to see with your naked eye the only remaining wild horses in the world. In other words, otherwise known as the Przewalski horses. And today, by studying the DNAs of past but also modern horses, we know for sure that they're not the ancestors of all the modern horses in Mongolia. They split with ancestors of modern horses around the world very, very long time ago, and they continued their path by remaining wild horses. And the ones that we or our ancestors tamed were a different kind of horses. So it's a really rare opportunity to see the only remaining wild horses by visiting the famous National Khosta Park in Mongolia. So that's where our first stop of our actual archaeological expedition is gonna be. Then we will head towards the ancient capital of the Mongol Empire, the largest empire during the medieval times that spanned all the way from the East Asia across the Eurasian steppe and all the way to Eastern Europe. It was created or established by the famous Chinggis Khan or Genghis Khan, that is also name used in the Western world. So we will get to visit the ancient capital of the Mongol Empire, Karakorum. Not only this place offers many sites to go visit, but it's also famous for its new museum, where it offers a lot of exhibits related to archaeology of Karakorum and also of the surrounding area. So that's going to be our major second stop during our expedition. During all of this time, I will be with you guys all along, as well as my co-instructor, Professor Gantolga, also we're all both from the same department from the National University of Mongolia. So after visiting and spending some time in Harhorum, we will actually get to our site, which is not too far from Harhorum in central Mongolia, in the valley of Khoid Tamir, which is very famous place area, not only in Mongolia, but also in Eurasia as well. It's famous for its beautiful landscapes, but also archaeological sites, some of which have already been um, accepted in the World Heritage List. And I'm talking specifically about the beautiful and really impressive deer stone monument complexes in Khoid Tamir, which were built and used by past nomads from well over 3,000 years ago for specific purposes, to bring in people, to create their own ceremonial landscape. So after getting to Khoid Tamir Valley, you will be no different than any archaeological expedition member. We will set up our camps. We will set up our field labs. We will get to know the surrounding area and set up on the third day. Starting from the fourth day or so, we will begin to learn and experience what actual step archaeology is all about. This is where me and my co-instructor, Professor Gantolga, will begin to introduce you to the plans of the next days. And as far as we are envisioning the following days, the entire group will be split into two teams, where one will work with me doing actual archaeological survey to learn and experience the meaning of doing pedestrian systematic survey. What's the reason behind it? What's the goal behind it? How we do it? And what are the next step of archaeological survey? The other group will be working with Professor Gantolga and begin to study and analyze through archaeological excavations some of the ceremonial or monument sites in Khoid Tamir Valley. And after spending couple days doing all of this uh, real world research, archaeological research, we're envisioned that the two teams will switch places where the other one gets to be involved in archaeological excavations and the other one doing survey with me and finding new exciting sites, discovering new sites that potentially can be studied further and provide us with the missing clue or interesting answers. And as any other expedition, at the beginning of the day, we will have meeting. During lunch, we will have a meeting and exchange ideas and bring in a new perspectives. Who knows? We're hoping, we're actually excited to learn from you because it's not only one-way street. I believe any environment where new people come in, there's always room for new ideas, new perspectives. So whenever there's an opportunity, be it over breakfast or lunch, and especially in the evening where we share our experiences and ideas, who knows, it might grow to a completely new project, completely new directions of study. So I'm really excited especially towards our evening sessions by the campfire, if you will. But evenings are also busy in the archaeological expeditions because this is where we back up our information, discuss the next day's plans, and so on and on and on. So it's always, this is really, the environment where you actually get to see the nature of archaeological expedition, discussions, questions, planning, everything never stops. Of course, fun times and free time, it's also included. But again, the science never stops. Questions are always asked, discussions always take place. So I'm really excited towards these times when we also get to discuss and express our feelings or really bring in new perspective or interesting questions. And after spending several days out in the field where you actually get to learn, feel, but also contribute in real ways to the study of past nomads through archaeological research, um, we will head back to Ulaanbaatar and we will have our session where you get to share our experience. But most importantly, um, maybe share your reports, maybe share your notes. So we're envisioning some sort of a discussion session, if you will, as a wrap up, if you will, in terms of what we've learned, or maybe you could suggest or bring in new ideas on how certain things could be done more efficiently or more productively. So this is part of the way that this is one example how any archaeological expedition is always a two-way street. And we're hoping that you guys will bring in your contributions or new ideas and perspectives and make uh, science more efficient, if you will. So this is, long story short, this is how we're sort of planning or envisioning to keep you busy, but at the same time, give you the real-time experience and also learn from you. So I hope this covered pretty much what you were hoping for, Tufsha.
Yes, correct. Thank you so much,
Okay.
Professor Jonathan. That was perfect. Yes. So maybe we could talk about a bit more about like this already ongoing project at the site, which is it's just not a new place, right? So it's been like a joint expedition between Mongolia and Monaco. It's like almost like 20th season this year, I believe. So which means like our participant potentially they might have a chance to meet fellow archaeologists for that particular project, right? So can you tell us a little bit about that ongoing project, like what's going on there?
Yeah. Thank you for this question. Sorry, I missed that part. So the Khoid Tamir Valley project has been going on for well over 20 years now. What started as a simple, small project as a collaboration between Mongolian and Monacan archaeologists now grew and matured into a multidisciplinary, multi-year, and multi-directional archaeological project that involves a lot of different directions, not just recording and finding new sites, but also deals with a lot of different questions and a lot of research directions, if you will. So the place we're gonna go is it's gonna be next to a well-established campsites by that particular international collaborative project. So they have a well-established campsite and we will based on their campsite and uh, they still it's one that this is one of the things about archaeology that you go to a one place and you find stuff or you find the questions of certain questions but also finding or creating and building a good quality answer brings in more and more quality questions. So this is what's been going on with this particular project, that questions never stop. And after finding certain answers, new kinds of questions, more detailed or other types of questions arise. And as a result, for example, our co-instructor, Professor Gantolga, has been there for almost 2 decades. And still, he says there's so much room to research. There's so many other places to where you get to go and discover new sites that otherwise still haven't been known to the scientific world, if you will. So yeah, so it's we're gonna go and be part of a well-established international recognized archaeological project in central Mongolia.
Yes, correct. Thank you so much. Um, the deer stone, this is something like Mongolia is the home of the deer stones, right? And specifically that Hotamer Valley is well known with those beautiful deer stones. So can you give us a little bit of information on that deer stone? so unique about it? Why Mongolia is home of these beautiful monuments, right? So I believe that it's been also recognized by UNESCO site as well, right? So
Hmm.
can you give us a little bit
Hmm.
about that too?
Yeah, yeah,
Information on
yeah,
it.
yeah. Um, when you look at the past, uh, creating or erecting a stone monument, stone stele, is not just exceptional or unique about Mongolia. We see this kind of practice all across the Eurasian steppe, all across Europe. But the thing about the deer stones in Mongolia is that they're they're decorative elements, the images that have been inscribed on those granite, big, large blocks of stone is very unique. Nowhere else we're finding these stylistic images of flying deer or reindeer, if you will. And there's a lot of variety across deer stones in Mongolia, in central Mongolia, western parts of Mongolia, in the Altai Mountains as well. But whenever these kinds of monuments are created or erected, there's rarely a single monument in one place. Often you would find large complexes of these particular kinds of monuments. And when you combine all of these monuments, you really get to see and feel the complexity or the sheer vastness of the cultural landscape that was created. So obviously, we're talking about ideology, you're talking about certain elements of representational arts and certain ceremonial activities taking place in those kinds of places. So it was the first time in our prehistory that the nomads actually came together and started creating these cultural or ceremonial landscapes, not just one site, but entire landscapes or networks of different archaeological sites that make them so impressive, if you will. And for this significance or for these kinds of qualities, they've been included or in the UNESCO heritage list. And there are not many tangible um, um, cultural sites or things that have been included from Mongolia. It's I believe it's only one of the two I believe that have been included. We have some intangible things that have been also included, but yeah, it's very impressive and it's the earliest or first time that nomads who are often known to be always on the move, not so much connected with others. But this was the first time or the earliest times over 3,000 years ago that we're seeing that new kinds of practices, new kinds of networks and interactions and all that came together to create these kinds of impressive landscapes, if you will. So yeah, yeah, it's that you really have to get there, see there, and feel their impressiveness. So yeah, I'm very excited that some of you will get to join me to share this
Yeah,
experience. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, exactly. If someone is already interested, already convinced to join with us this beautiful upcoming summer with us for this beautiful expeditions, so what would you say, how that person should prepare oneself, like a physically or mentally, or if you talk about physically, what it is the packing list, right? Because it's already on the site. Mongolian summer is beautiful, but at the same time, we have to consider that some nights can be chilly, right? We have to be honest, even though it's summer, sometimes it can be a bit chilly, but it's not like a chilly, that much cold. But like
yeah,
that, could you give us some advice on how they should prepare themselves to before they join this expectations,
yeah,
of
yeah,
course,
yeah, yeah.
obviously program organizers, all of us, we will try to provide them all of the necessary, the items or things they would use during the expeditions, digging up all, etc., etc. But as a personally, what they have to prepare.
Yes, yes, yes. So, yeah, thank you for asking these questions. And towards every summer, in any archaeological expedition, we also try to involve foreign scholars or foreign volunteers and students and whatnot. And we always, try to share this information to the best of our knowledge. So to begin answering these questions, I'll start with the workload, if you will. So when you picture archaeological survey or excavations, we're not expecting a heavy load. You're not going to be, um, um, you know, uh, digging and moving buckets of soils 8 hours every day or so. It's not gonna be like that. We're expecting what we call medium kind of load of work. We're planning on to focus, especially the excavation part, is planning on to focus particular medium-sized stone monuments that we still, or the project still needs to refine its dates in terms of finding datable material, but also finding out the purpose of certain stone monument structures in Khoid Tamir Valley. So they're not very, very big compared to some of the largest or large size burials or other things that can sometimes really go deep. So we're not expecting this medium size stone monuments, if you will. We still don't know the purpose of them. It could be a burial or shallowish kind of burial, but it also could be something used for ceremonial purposes. We might expect find evidence of or remains of sacrificed animals. We still really don't know, but it's really important to find clues, bones or certain kinds of soils that can lead us to or hint towards certain activities and whatnot. So in terms of excavation, we're not expecting to dig 3 meter deep hole or even 2 meter. We're not expecting that. We're expecting to be a medium, a level of workload, if you will. In terms of survey, I like doing survey actually. So we get to see how it's done. What are the methods of doing survey? So it mostly going to be involve a lot of walking, staring the ground, but also checking every bits of rock, every bits of stone, because that's how, or these are the clues that sometimes can lead us to something that is potentially covered by soil and it's not visible to naked eye. Sometimes a particular type of stone that it's not supposed to be there can lead us to remains of an old house, if you will, or you always get to check all the sides of an exposed rock because on the other side there could be a rock art, and that place or this Khoid Tamir Valley, our research area, is also famous for a variety of rock art sites, if you will. So we're expecting to find or expand the number of known or registered or recorded rock art sites as well. So this is in terms of what we're going to be doing and how much muscles, if you will, would need to be involved. You don't have to be scared. So any person who's interested in joining us should feel safe in terms of that. In terms of the environment or really what to expect, my suggestion or advice would be to bring a tent, not a summer tent, but potentially a three-season tent would be ideal with a nice, not winter sleeping bag, but still not the heaviest or thickest sleeping bag, but still one that would make you feel comfortable around I would say 5 degrees Celsius. So that's what around 40 Fahrenheit, 40, 45 Fahrenheit. I would expect that or advice on this particular kind of sleeping bag. An extra blanket never hurts because the thing about a Mongolian steppe is that it's always been one of the places around the world that um, that is has been known for its unpredictable short-term climate or environment, environmental changes, if you will. And uh, you know, um, doing archaeology for well over 20 years really teaches you that that's really true. Even in the summer, what you can call summer, sometimes the weather can turn ugly. So being archaeologist and being a researcher or anyone who's contributing to science and working in Mongolia, we advise to be prepared for everything other than probably the coldest time of the year. So anything other than winter, we have to be prepared for rainy days or high winds or sometimes sandstorms. We're not expecting any of that, but it never hurts just to be prepared. Um, and a nice warm jacket never hurts. Bring in a couple extra socks because you never know. So um, it doesn't mean things get too extreme suddenly, all of a sudden or whatnot. But again, it never hurts to be prepared for things that might happen. And this is obviously the step, open wide step. And sometimes, the terrain really exposes you to those natural elements. So it never hurts to be prepared. So did that answer?
Yeah, correct. Yes,
Hopefully
of
this
course.
answer your
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
question. Yes.
And
So.
maybe I should also add a couple more, notes on it. So basically, the project site itself is this beautiful valley, and the program, I mean, the project already ongoing, this Mongolian Monaco, project, they do have this settlement, let's say, this house. So which means as Professor Jarlan mentioned, that bringing that tent, I would say it's like optional. If you would like to stay in your own tent, you can bring it. It's optional, but at the same time, as a program organizers, we are providing, that housing, which also includes that, the mattress and bedding, things like that. But of course, if you would like to bring your own, extra blankets or things, it's always like it's something you can bring. But at the program organizers, we're providing those housings. And of course, only on the project side, you all rooms divided in like, and it's going to be like the bunk beds and all the mattresses and blankets are provided. But until we could get to the project size, for example, first couple of days in Ulaanbaatar, you will be staying in the hotel, and next couple of days until you get to the project size, when you stop by the Khoid National Park and the Harhering, you will be staying in a Mongolian gear camp. So Mongolian gear is Mongolian traditional settlement, small, but it's very beautiful space, I would say. Everybody enjoys staying in Mongolian here, actually. So we love it. Everybody loves it. I'm sure you guys will enjoy that. So yeah, that's something I just wanted to add on it. So, and also program, we are providing some merch products, including the t-shirts and hats, and also some stickers and water bottle. Water is something we don't want you guys to be dehydrated, but we'll make sure you guys are like not dehydrated. So we'll provide a water bottles. And of course you can bring your own water bottles if you prefer, So just a little bit of, like the logistical side of notes I wanted to say. Uh, Based on what you have also said, which is great. And also, like I'm just imagining myself like from participants' perspective. So basically, if it's new place, you're always concerned about certain things. For example, like they're gonna be like mosquitoes, right? So do I need to bring mosquito spray or like, those small? Sometimes it can sound like a small things, but sometimes it's better to keep in mind. So do you have any suggestions or lists, something like that, for that particular, like more list to the packing? No.
Well, yeah, I mean, probably I'm going to say the same, just be prepared for this place is not known for heavy load of mosquitoes compared to other
Okay.
really, really crazy places in Mongolia.
Hmm.
Um, but again, it's we have river next to or not too far away from the cap, so that means there's going to be a certain levels of moisture, and obviously with that mosquitoes come in. So, but this place is not known for
Mhm.
it's crazy amount of mosquitoes. But again, just be prepared for any. I'm sure a lot of people have gone camping or yeah, but
Mhm.
as long as you're prepared for basic things, I can assure that you're in safe hands. I mean, you're gonna be surrounded with not me only me and Professor Gantolga, who has even more experience than me, especially working in this region of Mongolia. But there are also going to be other researchers, scientists of that
Mhm.
project, where who are also have a lot of years of experience coming and sharing advices or handing a hand, and in case somebody needs. So again. A lot of the times, you envision or hear the open steppes of Mongolia, and it's but again, most uh, what I'm saying is that just as long as you're prepared for basic needs, you should be, everyone should be totally fine. Yeah, it's actually one of the Central Mongolia is known for its mildish climate, stable climate compared to the famous Gobi deserts or the arid steppes of Mongolia or high mountains in the west. So compared to those places, it's one of the most, stable and mild, places. I hope I didn't scare
No, yeah, no, no.
some of you. Yeah,
I believe people are more excited actually. So
yeah.
yeah.
But
Um,
again, this is all part of archaeology. This is what the
yeah.
beauty of archaeology. You get to,
Mhm.
it's never enough just to see or hear it. It's really, you need to also get to go and experience it. And yeah.
Yeah, correct. Yes. So I also have to mention about that as a ACMS, American Center for Mongolian Studies, has been doing this programs for like almost like ever since like its founding, 2002 actually. So specifically, if you talk about particular similar programs like that, we do have a Mongol Field School program. This is interdisciplinary program, which started back in 2019. So um, when I'm saying about this, I try to mention about like we are, experienced in doing these types of program, and also specifically on archaeology program. Like this particular archaeology program is going to be our third time doing it. So we always try to aim to work with the experts, the best in the industry. So when it comes to archaeology, like for example, last year we worked with the Institute of Archaeology from Mongolian Academy of Science, and this year we are partnering with National University of Mongolia Institute of Nomadic Archaeology. So for Institute of Nomadic Archaeology, for example, they've been working with like over like 30 institutes from like the dozens of countries, right? So I mean, in terms of the research and the partnership and all of these projects they have led or ongoing projects, that's quite impressive. And as a program organizer, we are very confident that this program will be a great success. And like, can you tell us about more about Institute of Medical Ecology? Like what's going on right now? What you guys working on? What's your highlight since your founding, recent news to share with us for your institute?
Oh, wow. I don't know where to begin with because as an institution, which is also part of the National University of Mongolia, the Institute of Nomadic Archaeology is very active institution that engages in a lot of collaboration, but also it also carries out a lot of national or domestic archaeological projects as well. So we're expecting also to be another busy summer of just last year when we look at the overview of all the summer projects and work and research that we did. I mean, we worked from all the 21 provinces in Mongolia. We've worked and did research or archaeological research in 19 provinces across Mongolia for this short span of time. We've been very busy and always, it's not just about doing research, but also educating the next generation of archaeologists. So we always, whenever we go out and do research, we always wear two hats. One is an archaeologist, but second, as a university professor, because learning and teaching never stops. I learn from others, but I also try to share and teach others. So this program, which is I understand it is also new partnership with us. I'm very excited because it's going to involve not just taking you out in the field and make you work. No, it's not only just about that, but it's about sharing and really learning from each other. And I'm really excited that this project offers me to be the same jargon, if you will, in the field, to be still, the archaeologist in the field, but also be the professor where we're gonna, also be busy with the learning, if you will. So yeah, I mean, the Institute of Nomadic Archaeology deals with a lot of questions and periods, be it historic period. No. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We just lost you a few
Oh,
seconds.
is it okay
Yes.
now?
Yes,
Is it
it's okay
okay?
now.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So the Institute of Archaeology deals with all sorts of questions across different periods and across vast steppes of Mongolia, and we try to learn all the past societies or nomadic societies across Mongolian steppes, different questions, different cultures, different periods through their material remains, burials, cemeteries, their urban cities and settlements, and all the smaller tan you know tangible artifacts and other sorts of evidence that could potentially tell us what's been happening in the past, but most importantly, why things happened and what can we learn from this from all of these material remains. So the Institute of Nomadic Archaeology, yeah, it's a very active, it's very busy institution, and as any other past year, we're expecting. Just today, we've had our meeting, and we're expecting also another very, very, very busy summer. So yeah, I hope I answered the question because it can go on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
focus on particular things, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's busy, and we're finding a lot of different interesting clues from the past. We have a project that's based also in Harhorum, but this year they're going to be working in late summer, so we're not going to get to see their work in action when we visit Harhorum. But everything from Harhorum, ancient capital of Mongolia, or be it another state society from well over 2,000 years ago, the famous Huns, if you will, right? Hunnus. So we also deal with their archaeological sites, cemeteries, burials, but also settlements in different parts of Mongolia. Yeah, so it's there's a lot to talk about, and whenever you get here, we'll have time.
Yeah. You will have a lot of time to study, learn from Dr. Professor Jarlin, and absolutely, like I'm so confident that our participants so lucky to have you as an instructor. I'm sure they will learn a lot from you. So yeah, that's it. So basically, we believe that we hopefully provided all the necessary information to you guys. But anyway, anytime if you do have more further questions, please just let us know. We'll be happy to answer. And right now we are here as a whole team from the ACMS, including Professor Jarlin. So from our live audience, if there's anyone who wants to ask a question and get the answer right away, please let us know. You can simply raise your hand or you can leave your a question in the chat box if you would like. So we'll be happy to address them and answer those questions. Okay, so I will leave my email address in the chat box. So maybe after this call or anytime, if you have any questions related to
Oh, I see a
logistics.
question
Oh,
in
you
the
have.
chat
Oh,
box.
okay. Yeah,
I think that's more a question more towards you,
yeah,
I guess.
yeah. How many people will there be? Yes. So to make this experience more meaningful and more, give our participants opportunity to really get to know the place and have this, to learn from the instructors, we try to keep it no more than 15 people. So it's gonna be like 10 to 15 people for this session. Yeah.
15, right?
Yes, 1 5, not
Uh-huh.
50.
15.
No.
Uh-huh.
Yes, it's 10 to 15. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Yeah. And so let me leave. And also, if you have any other questions directly from our professors, you can also let us know. We can split them as instructions as well. And okay, so I guess there's no more questions. So it's recorded. The session is recorded. We're gonna share this recorded video with you guys after this call, maybe tomorrow. So yeah, we are so much looking forward to welcome you guys to beautiful Mongolia this summer. Its timing is the best, perfect, I would say. As a even as a local person, like June through August is the best time to visit Mongolia, and specifically like end of June through mid-July is the best time because of this biggest holiday that we all look forward. Not a festival is happening in July, so maybe after this program ends, you guys can stay a couple more weeks probably to experience that beautiful our holiday. And as ACMS also will be so happy to help you guys to coordinate those after the program, post-program visit as well, if you want to stay longer. So we'll be there for you guys. So I also have to say, any of our program participants, they just don't leave with one program. They just always revisit us, and we are always keep in touch. Like it's just not by. So I hope to see you guys, meet you guys, to welcome you all here in beautiful Mongolia. Yeah. So thank you all for joining with us for precious time with us. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you all so much for taking time out of your day. Yeah, we really look forward to seeing you this summer. And like as Tufshe said, please feel free to reach out with any questions or if you want a little more info. We're always happy to provide that. And yeah, we hope to see you in Mongolia. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
All
You're
right, thanks
muted.
everyone. And as they say in Mongolia, Bayırte.
Birthday. Okay.
Where's
Bye.
that?